Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching the Today I Found Out YouTube channel, and in the video today we're looking at that time that pre-sliced bread was illegal. In 1943, Claude R. Wickard, the head of the War Foods Administration, as well as the Secretary of Agriculture, got the bright idea to ban pre-sliced bread in America, which he did on January 18, 1943. The specific reasons behind this aren't entirely clear, though it was about conservation of resources, particularly generally thought to have been about conserving wax paper, wheat, and steel. With regards to the wax paper conservation, by FDA regulations, pre-sliced bread used much thicker wax paper than loaves sold whole due to the fact that sliced bread, not surprisingly, goes stale significantly faster than loaves left unsliced. While this was the official stated reason for the ban, there was no shortage of wax paper at the time the ban was put in place. According to the War Production Board, most bread-making companies had wax paper supplies on hand to last several months, even if they didn't buy any more during that span. It has also been suggested that a secondary goal was to try to conserve wheat and to lower bread and flour prices. Around World War II, the Office of Price Administration had authorized an increase in flour prices by about 10%. This naturally resulted in the price of bread increasing. When pre-sliced bread was first introduced nationwide, it drastically increased bread sales. So the thought was that by banning pre-sliced bread, the amount of bread consumed would go down. This would then reduce the demand for flour and wheat and thus decrease prices of these products while simultaneously increasing stockpiles of wheat. As with the wax paper reasoning, the idea of conserving wheat seems an odd thing given that, at the time of the ban, the US had stockpiled over 1 billion bushels of wheat. This is enough to meet the United States' needs for about 2 years, even if no new wheat was harvested over that span. Finally, bread-making machines themselves used quite a bit of steel in their production, so it has been suggested that one of the reasons for this bread ban was to conserve this metal. This line of reasoning also seems somewhat dubious, as most bread manufacturers weren't actively buying new bread slicing machines at any given time, so the benefits would be marginal, even accounting for the machine's large size and significant amount of metal used in its production. As you might imagine, banning pre-sliced bread didn't go over very well with the masses. The best thing since sliced bread is an expression for a reason. As one woman aptly put in a letter appearing in the New York Times, "I should like to let you know how important sliced bread is to the morale and saneness of a household. My husband and 4 children are all in a rush during and after breakfast. Without ready sliced bread, I must do the slicing for 2 toast pieces for each one. That's 10. For their lunches, I must cut by hand at least 20 slices for 2 sandwiches apiece. Afterward, I make my own toast. 22 slices of bread to be cut in a hurry." Within about 3 months of the ban being introduced on March 8, 1943, it was rescinded. Upon lifting the ban, Wickard stated, "Our experience with the order, however, leads us to believe that the savings are not as much as we expected." So I really hope you found that video interesting, a surprising thing to ban if there ever was one. Do leave us a comment below to let us know what you think, and don't forget to click like as well if you enjoyed this video, or subscribe to our channel for brand new videos just like this most days of the week. Also over there on the right, a couple of other videos you'll enjoy if you enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.